link. I don't know if it went through or not. Okay, so let's start out with some of these stories here. We got the Swiss for the Red Cross and all their money. Like, that's a hell of a lot of money.
How old is this video?
I think it's like from 2022 or something.
What's the context for the cash?
There was no context, but I mean, hard cash like that in a bin. The blue ones, I would assume, are medical supplies. So all the black ones are probably money. I mean, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Oh, money.
Is that Ben Franklin?
Yeah, that's all money.
Hundreds?
Yeah, that's a lot of money. So yeah, then we got the 8 humans lady. This shit's fucked up.
They're not human, is what she was saying.
Oh. You want to translate that?
No son humanos. They're not humans.
Whoa. Not humans. Oops.
Oh, comieron humanos. Comieron humanos. They ate humans.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, that was, I think 2012, I want to say, right around there. I could be wrong. I could be off by a year or two. Never seen again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty strange. We got Tim Waltz here doing some kind of satanic prayer. What'd you call it earlier? Yeah.
Isn't that a triangle of manifestation?
Yeah.
Do you know more about that than I do?
I know the Satanists do that, but they go like that.
That is such a deliberate hand movement. That's no accident.
Yeah, Tim Waltz seems pretty
disgusting.
fishy. What else do we got here? This one.
You can never really say MMR doesn't cause autism, but frankly, when you get in front of the media, you better get used to saying it, because otherwise people hear a door being left open when a door shouldn't be left open.
Yeah, so it's huge. You better get used to saying that MNRA doesn't cause autism. You know, even though it. How do you word that?
You can never really say
do you
MMR
remember
doesn't cause
years
autism, but
ago?
frankly, when you get in front of the media, you better get used to saying it.
Jenny McCarthy.
Yeah, he said you can never really say that MNRA causes autism, but when you get in front of the media, you better get used to saying it.
Well, but the autism issue has been going on for decades.
Yeah,
and remember Jenny McCarthy and Jim Carrey making the rounds on talk shows? Because Jenny McCarthy had an autistic son, and I believe what they were saying was that it was the shots, and not necessarily anything to do with Corona, but 15 years ago or 20 years ago, whenever they were together, that it was all of the shots. Because remember, the vaccine schedule stepped up after Reagan, under his administration, the Vaccine Act passed, giving big pharma protections against lawsuits.
Yeah.
And suddenly we went from a dozen shots, less, not shots, but just vaxes that I had. So I had maybe a dozen, to, I think the schedule has over 70 shots today for kids. It's insane.
Yeah.
I did not grow up with peanut allergies. And the Food and Drug I think it's the Food and Drug Administration. I could be off on my government agencies, but think of how corrupt they are to approve that many shots on the list. How corrupt they are.
Oh yeah.
So Jenny McCarthy and Jim Carrey were absolutely ridiculed. I remember that. Absolutely ridiculed, laughed out, ridiculous nonsense. And I think that there's enough, I haven't done a deep dive on it, but there's enough circumstantial evidence to make me think, yeah, they're probably telling the truth.
You gotta
Nobody
get a copy
had a
of that.
Peanut allergy when I was a kid. No one had a peanut allergy.
You get some copies of those Wallene James books. Those are like hard to find. They might be expensive.
Which ones? Which books?
Wallene James. Sure, it's like 3 books. Vaccine, The Great Myth, or something. It's like Cooper does some episodes where he has some guy named Alex Loglia do some quotes from the book.
Oh, Wallene James.
Yeah. And that, because whatever you read on the internet about the book is inaccurate about what the book actually says. Because I've heard the quotes and they are very complex about virus mutation under environmental change and stuff. Like, according to the belief of the terrain theory, germ theory, is that the viruses mutate in the environment that they're in. So like, it's very ironic that they would use a test that tests the terrain of your body to see if you have quote unquote corona. I mean, I believe it was a real disease, but it's like,
me too.
I think that there was, see what's crazy, Wuhan, and then those other 2 cities, there were 3 cities in a row that were being tested with 5G, and that if viruses did mutate under environmental factors, I don't think it's a coincidence that those 3 cities also happen to be the first 3 cities that quote unquote caught corona. And so like, it's like, I think that the satellite, whatever was hitting them with 5G, somehow made the germs mutate. That made the viruses mutate. And
they weren't bioengineered in a lab.
They might have been, but they might have been mutated even further or something.
Is there any evidence of that type of technology in existence?
Well, think about this. Like, it's like the 3 test cities for the 5G all happen to be in a perfectly straight line. It's like the only thing that travels in the sky that could possibly send some kind of signal, and that particular, to those particular cities, would be something that would be going in a straight line. You know, they would have to have like a string of satellites going around in that orbit to hit those 3 cities with the first 5G test or whatever.
So those 5 cities had corona outbreaks.
Well, I mean, Dr. Rima Labau said that, she said in 2007, I remember when I seen it, came on the internet, Codex Alimentarius. I wasn't sure if it was a psyop, but she said in that documentary, she said, people are so malnourished and there's so little minerals in the food that are actually real minerals and not metallic derived minerals, that fucking she predicted that millions would die from the common cold, and that's exactly what corona is. It's the common cold. I mean,
no, but it's been tampered with. It's not a common cold.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that, well, I'm basing that on, I remember at the time, I was seeing news reports out of China, Xinhua, what's it called? Xinhua News, and their propaganda channels, that there was something that was coming.
Oh, wait, I don't have to get a cigarette. I have tobacco. I'm gonna try it. I was waiting to, as listen to the rest of what you had to say before I left, but I forgot I got a bag of tobacco.
Um, so, and I remember in one of the articles, and I read this in January, and this was the early part of January, and this is before I started printing articles, because I was so naive. It never occurred to me that
They
anything
would
that I read
disappear.
online could be, well, what I started to notice was, and you can see this now. Let's say you go to Reuters and you read an article. It might say published on January 15th, 2020. And then next to it, it'll say updated on
Oh yeah,
March 25th, right? So,
yeah.
but in January, I read an article, and this is what made me really start to consider, is this something that we created? Where the article stated that proteins that occur in corona do not occur in nature, do not occur in nature. And that stuck with me. And I remember when I started getting suspicious, by the end of February, and I was telling friends and neighbors that something was coming to the United States, and just make sure you have enough supplies at home,
Oh yeah,
because they were already locking people down in China, remember?
yeah.
So, um, so when I went back to look for that article,
It
at
was
that
gone.
article, those words were gone, and that's when I noticed the updated on, when I looked for the article, it said updated on March 20th, 2020, something like that. So after that point, I started, depending on what I was reading, I started printing hard copy.
That's a really
So
good
I
idea.
have boxes of articles, so that I know I'm not losing my mind.
You could get a file cabinet file.
Well, no, I don't want to do that. But I do have like legal
Well,
legal boxes broken down by category to try and save some of this stuff. But
yeah.
Clint, what am I doing that for? Who's that
Well,
for?
it's for
For
your own,
myself,
for
so that I can
yourself.
say, "Hey, I'm telling the truth."
I do the same shit. Fucking, I mean, I don't print them out, but if I had a printer, I would. Because when the article came out for Osama bin Laden being captured on May 1st, guess what happened later? They changed it. They said, "Oh, it was May 2nd." Because I remember when it happened, I was smoking weed. I seen it on the computer. I'm like, May 1st. They fucking saying that they got him on the fucking socialist fucking holiday, and
Mm.
like, because I was just bragging to everybody about it. I was like, fucking, because I thought it was some kind of psyop. I didn't think they actually got him. And then modern times, you look it up, they'll say May 2nd. It's like there is no way I mistook that. No way whatsoever. Uh, because I've been on this like trail for like 17 years, looking at this stupid shit, trying to figure out what's going on, and like,
Mhm.
like all the, I think there's a lot of psyops going on, like that whole Berenstein Bears thing. I think that's a psyop. I think that the same with the Fruit of the Loom thing. I think it's a psyop, so they can make people question and try to think that there's some kind of multiple uh string theory reality or some shit.
Um,
I mean,
well,
the
I
string
can tell
theory.
you the Monopoly man had a monocle.
Well, I mean, like, that's the thing. It's like it could be a
Now suddenly he
wait a
doesn't.
minute, wait. It could be a psyop. They could have planned on doing it or something.
But I don't have an old copy or version of a
I
Monopoly
mean,
game in my
even them
closet.
saying that the Fruit of the Loom had the cornucopia, that could be the
Cornucopia.
psyop. Maybe it never had the cornucopia, but like, it could all be a psyop, or it could all just be people that are, I don't know, like they changed the patent on some, because I have seen uh, old. Well, it's irrelevant. They're playing game. Cooper said it all the time. He said, uh, "We live in the age of deception. Who is
Yes.
their god? The great deceiver. Uh,
Yes.
they want to
I
deceive
get that.
us."
In that regard, so I don't believe in simulation theory. But
Yeah,
but
I don't think we
it,
should
it's
believe in anything.
it's very clear, it's very clear that the predator class who runs things, they are making people question their reality. And they're doing it on purpose because ultimately they have made it clear that they are going to be the arbiters of what's real and what's not.
Yeah, yeah, that's what's really despicable.
Yeah. And making people second guess their memories, which is exactly what I'm doing. Now, I mentioned to you when you said, "Oh, right away you dismissed it. Oh, I don't believe it. I don't believe in, multiple realities." But that's not necessarily the point that I was trying to make by telling you about Philip K. Dick, the
Yeah.
author of Blade Runner, and the Minority Report. It's actually uh, do what's the title of his short story that Blade Runner is based upon? Do
Oh,
androids dream of electric sheep?
oh
So
yeah.
that guy gave a speech, and I haven't finished listening to it. I listened to 5 minutes of it, and it sounded very, very interesting. From 1977, it's about 20 minutes long, but I want Mark to listen to it with me. He's smarter than I am.
Well, There
Um,
was there
because
was
what he talks about, at least in the beginning, is he does talk about multiple realities. Now, why is that important? It's not about, oh, I don't believe in that. It's important because that's the same nonsense that they're pushing 50 years later.
yeah.
That's come to a head.
Well, I was gonna bring up that this thing about the well, there was a Twilight Zone episode, the newer Twilight Zone. It was about these people kept watching the TV, like got intercepted by some alien signal or something, and like they were watching the screens. The screens were all these patterns and stuff, and then like and it had this weird sound, and everybody who heard it was like only certain people could hear it or something, and like it was like a metaphor of like uh how people can live in different realities, but they're stuck in this one, but to them it's a different reality, and but they're still in reality, but they think they're not,
Yes. Yeah. Well, what's a great example of that at Disneyland? These immersive rides that make you feel like you're in a spaceship. I mean,
Hmm.
think of how easy it is to fool people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
You
yeah,
went to Mars. You flew to Mars.
that's where it could all be smoke and mirrors. uh,
I
I
don't
mean,
believe I mean even
the
I don't
UFOs
believe
could be
in anything.
holograms or something, even though I don't
Well,
think
that's
they
another.
were. I mean, the
It
UFOs
could
could be
be a
Nazi
combination of
technology.
things. I don't think it's one thing. I think it's a combination of things. And ultimately,
Oh yeah.
the government is exploiting it. And just to circle back around, because I just want to close this. I know I've tried to talk about it a couple of times, but going back to Dr. Day and saying it's not communism, this is much bigger, and there's more cooperation between East and West than people realize. And the reason that he spoke to about 80 doctors, according to Dr. Dunigan at the time in 1968, was because the predator class was confident that they were ready to accelerate their plans for the future. And according to Dr. Day, everything is in place Nobody can stop us now. And most people don't understand how governments operate, including those high in government. And that's, as we know, government is very compartmentalized. It's on a need to know basis.
Yeah.
So the people who really influence policy are names no one would recognize.
Well, excuse me. Yeah, that's where I was getting into some of that world government research, and it was coming down to all these like groups of lawyers that were controlling agriculture and all sorts of stuff.
Exactly. So they're not primarily people in public office, but they're prominent in private occupations and positions,
Yeah,
right?
they were making
So the
law
government
outside
shifted
of.
everything to the private, or a lot to the private sector.
Yeah, like private sectors are making laws, and it's like, how can this be? Like,
Yeah, look at what my employer is doing to me. But it's the government that's shifted enforcement to corporations.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
what do people say? Hey, it's a private company. If you don't like it, leave.
yeah. That's what they're making it. They're making everything fully corporatized. It's going to be the corporate new world order.
Yeah, it's technocracy.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's I mean,
scientific
at least right
democracy.
now that's the direction that we're headed in. And then there continues to be this resurrects like every 6 months a third party, a third party, a third party.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's where we bring in Nick Fuentes and his cockroach problem. You can see it crawling on his chair. Yeah, there's one right on his arm. uh, yeah, that's
Is
scary.
that real? Is that real?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it was on
I
Twitter.
don't think so.
It could be.
Can you please speak a little bit about what you've
Okay.
learned as part of that investigation?
So this is about the Southern Poverty Law
Southern
Center.
Poverty Law Center. Can you please speak a little bit about
Oh.
what you've learned as part of that investigation and if we should expect more charges?
So yes, today, my understanding is today there was an arrest made, and there is a new indictment that includes the former CFO of SPLC. I don't have any comments about whether, we've said from the beginning, everybody, not
he
just me,
doesn't
but
wanna
anybody
say.
who's talked about this
They got
case,
something
like
juicy.
virtually every criminal case,
Mhm.
the fact that an indictment is returned doesn't end the investigation. It's just part of the investigation in
Southern
most cases,
Poverty
which
Law
is certainly
Center's
true in
been
this
at
case.
it for years.
I think as alleged in the indictment, this individual participated in the scheme as alleged. I believe she was part of the effort to open bank accounts in completely fictitious companies' names and make payments to individuals for reasons that were not that were not accurate as described. But I don't have. I think the indictment was unsealed this morning. I don't have, or I believe it was unsealed this morning. I think the arrest was this morning. I don't have anything to say beyond that.
He definitely sugarcoated that one. They were caught giving away
Pfizer
the
COVID
KKK.
vaccine tested on stopping the transmission of the virus before it entered the market. If not, please say it clearly. If yes, are you willing to share the data with this committee? And I really want a straight answer, yes or no, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
Regarding the question around, did we know about stopping immunisation before it's entered the market? No.
No. That's all we need to know. Scientific dictatorship.
Pedro mentioned Cass Sunstein in comments, and I'm not sure why he brought him up.
Sunstein. Yeah, I'm not sure. Listen, I got this last clip.
And Jews are monkeys and pigs to us. You know, that's what Allah called them. Allah called them so we believe that, and it was easy for us to kill because they're not real human.
Yeah. So Pedro mentioned Cass Sunstein because we were talking about reality. So Sunstein was part of the Obama administration, I believe. with Richard Taylor. So, and he was part of the how do you judge people unconsciously to manipulate them? How do you get people to say yes? If you want to influence people, you need mystery. So it's really about tricking us. So creating illusions. And I think he co-authored a book with Caldini. Pedro, you can fact check me on that. So, you know, I think he advocated for using mysticism to capture people. In other words, something like how were the pyramids built? Well, there must have been aliens with a higher knowledge that built the pyramids. So there's a Gnostic mystery
Yeah.
cult thread being pushed into the subconscious. Well, and that goes along with it's all about new age consciousness.
Yeah. I mean, I still think the possibility of all the UFOs and all this consciousness stuff being connected to
Yeah.
theosophy and the Nazis and basically theosophy, because theosophists
Yeah.
seem to have made the Nazis.
Yeah, there are connecting threads. Pedro, did I characterize that somewhat correctly? Shalom, Donut. Manishma.
Speaking of alternate realities.
Not
Fat
Arnold.
Arnold.
I can't stand AI sometimes. The only thing I like about AI is the cat videos, the cat musicians.
They're all fat.
I'm trying to have some serious discourse here.
Sorry. Yeah, no, there's a lot of fucked up shit going on in the world. So here's another video. This is a cab driver in Italy or no, I don't remember where this is at, but he's Islam.
Well, if you was born in Pakistan, originally from Pakistan, you must have been kidnapped by me.
Have been kidnapped by you?
Of course. Because there is no option to get you, right?
Okay. You have your women over there, though.
Seriously. So you are in Canada, so I cannot say you anything.
Okay.
I cannot touch you anything. Because it is Canada.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely you couldn't touch me. There's laws to this shit here.
You know what I mean?
That's not that flattering. That's kind of scary.
Trust me. Because, there was no option.
Okay. Well, you have a good night.
Yeah, so it's Canada. That shit's fucked up because, like, if you were at a bar in Michigan or something and somebody said something like that, they'd probably get punched in the face by somebody. No exaggeration. Like, what?
Well,
Like,
I know.
What did you just say? Like,
and bride kidnapping is years ago. I saw a documentary. I think it was in Kazakhstan and other parts of the Caucasus where they have forced marriages. But get this. So families would kidnap, say, a young woman going to college. They would kidnap her, take her back to their home, and it's the women that would be pressuring the young woman to agree to marry their son, nephew, whatever. And the girl is crying, she's sobbing, I want to go home to my family. And the women are sitting around her, not the men, trying to pressure her into accepting the marriage. So, and they're trying to pressure her into accepting the marriage. You can say that was flirtation, because in places like Pakistan, I don't think they give you a choice. Although that's still pretty brutal.
that sounds like Ted Nugent's marriage.
That still goes on. It still goes on.
Are we talking about a West Virginia family or a Pakistani family? Ahoy!
Why does that sound familiar? Does that sound familiar,
of David Wilcox. How are y'all doing here?
Pretty good.
Talking about avian flus, dude. Blue avian flus.
We're talking about Clint believes in alternate realities.
I
And
never
he
said
thinks
that.
there's an alternate reality
I
where
never
we
said
all weigh 350 pounds.
I like it. We're all great big fat people. Sucking on chili dogs. You all familiar with some chili dogs, you know what I mean?
But your wiener schnitzel chili dog?
Oh, I'll eat some of that. Sure.
All
I
right.
just had some campfire burgers and some campfire dogs, no chili.
Oh, yeah.
Dogless chili dogs. Chililess chili dogs. It's just a regular dog at that point.
All right.
Now,
Yeah, I can't
one
do chili
thing
dogs.
about the blue avian flu of 2020 is they never isolated it. It was never once isolated. So it was really a big magic trick.
Well, I speculate that it was something that came from all the pneumonia.
Well, that's the thing. So the 1960s. So according to the CDC's own data, it was very likely the same strain of flu from the 1968 flu situation.
Yeah.
Because that one,
read
not
that
only
too.
did it test to be the same strain, it also had the same result. It was causing a bacterial pneumonia as well, which was common with that 68 situation.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, freaking the only thing that cured me was that fucking guinea hen plant. This shit cures anything.
But the original paper out of Wuhan, the Wuhan paper, they literally admits to not isolating it in the summary.
Hmm.
And it was like 12 cases, and they threw 4 people out because they didn't meet the ends they didn't meet the ends that they desired in the study. And they admit to that, and they admit to that in the paper too. No one really ever paid attention. That was part of the magic trick. This is the original paper cited by all their papers. It's it's essentially the epicenter of the paper pandemic.
So, what do you think? Like patient zero was?
There wasn't, dude. There wasn't. We saw all those videos out of China, dude, where folks were just dropping over off a park bench. Like I'd like to understand the biological mechanisms which cause that, because there's no sudden death syndrome associated with the virus.
Well, I mean, from what my aunt was saying, she's a nurse. She was saying she works at a big city hospital. She's saying all the people that had something wrong, most of them were like extremely fat, and that and that
I'm upset by that.
Their feet kept turning black. She said all their feet were black, like. And then,
I mean, if you had comorbidities, for sure, dude. Obviously, again, if you look at the 1968 data, I think it's 68 or 67. Same, dude. It's literally the same.
Well, I think that if you look at every symptom of corona, and then you look at every symptom of radiation poisoning, that the symptoms all match up: blood clots, black feet.
I thought the blood clots came from a shot from the J&J, not the virus.
Yeah, so the blood clots.
There was videos that were.
Were there blood clots that were caused by the virus?
No, by the immunization.
Yeah, by the J&J. Yeah. And by the way, my husband got one of those blood clots.
Jesus.
It was bad.
If you get some Chunka Piedra, that should cure it.
He's on a blood thinner now.
Oh yeah, Chunka Piedra's a blood thinner too. But you can't drink Chunka Piedra if you're already on blood thinner. That's dangerous.
Wait a minute. So you're saying if I'm drinking Chunka Piedra tea every day, it's thinning my blood?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's not a good idea.
Yeah, you don't want to drink it every day, like permanently. I mean, like if you're like sick or you're trying to get rid of kidney stone or something, you can drink it like every day for like a month. But like, I don't know if I'd go beyond that, because it can be bad for tooth enamel too, because it's like corrosive. I mean, I've drank it like every day for like years, but like that's because I was like paranoid of getting sick.
I was sick last week, but I think I just ate some bad beef. That or I OD'd on burgers, one of the two.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bad food rolling around right now. I think that's pretty much intentional, if you ask me.
Yeah, there's China got caught dipping cabbage in
China.
What's that stuff called that they use for dead bodies in the morgue? Formaldehyde. Yeah, China was dipping cabbage in formaldehyde and selling it. People were getting sick.
Well, that sounds fun.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Yeah, so somebody fed me some cabbage like that, they'd be fucking. I'd be going to China to whoop some ass.
Oh, I don't eat vegetables.
Yeah, I don't really eat vegetables either.
Yeah, I'm on a strict carnivore and ice cream diet.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I meant.
I wish I was making. I'm not making that up.
JJ, chocolate's a vegetable.
JJ, nothing personal, but don't you have a little bit of difficulty clearing yourself out, sweetie?
Oh no, it's good to go. I don't know what. I don't have any problem. It's probably the pot of coffee I drink every morning that helps me with staying regular. I'm on a pretty strict coffee, meat, and ice cream diet. Ice cream. I'll argue till the day I lose a foot with type 2 diabetes that ice cream is a superfood.
It is delicious.
Well, the problem is people say sugar's bad. When it's mixed in when it's with the other. If it's the byproduct with the proper fats and everything else like that with ice cream, I think you're all right.
Well, that is if you can get
it's the blue avian diet, ma'am. It's the blue avian diet. David Wilcox. It's 2 thumbs up from David Wilcox.
But it's difficult these days to even get real food. I mean, just because it says butter doesn't mean you're getting butter.
That's true. I pretty much strictly eat Kerrygold butter. I'm fairly confident it tastes.
Kerrygold is not real butter. I'm sorry to break it to you.
It tastes like real butter.
Well, I'm sorry, sweetie. It's not.
It claims to be grass-fed butter. Are these
It's
Irish sons of bitches lying to me?
It's not. They play fast and loose with grass-fed.
That I'm not surprised. It's like free range. I don't buy any. I just buy regular eggs because whenever I do eat eggs, which is occasionally, but they say free range. Well, that's a real. You should see the definition of free range. It's
they don't tell you. Well, it's Ireland, so they're actually indoors for several months of the year.
Oh, for the Kerrygold butter stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
They make a delicious butter stick. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But it's interesting because when we travel abroad, so if we go to Italy or Israel or the EU has such strict guidelines, it just amazes me if we walk into a grocery store or let's say we go to breakfast where we're staying, I can smell the fruit before we walk into the room.
Oh, for sure.
And that just doesn't happen
in my
anymore.
travels as well. The fruit they have over in Europe and Asia is way different than American fruit.
It's like I was so thrilled to see
the
black
bread's
seeds
different.
And watermelon. Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, it's like real food. It smells.
Bananas aren't a foot long. They're like they look like a plant. Plain. What's the word I'm looking for? What's the not plantain? Plantain. What's those silly looking things look like bananas, but they're small?
A plantain.
Plantain. There we go.
No,
but that's like a normal sized banana overseas.
The plantains are big ones from South America.
No, they're smaller.
They're like the mini bananas. Yeah,
they're like mini bananas.
But overseas, like bananas, you'll get are like that size. I was like, all right, well, yeah, everything. They've kind of bastardized and Frankenstein all the fruit and vegetables in America.
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
Well, and overseas they have more regulations about the pesticides that can be used. They have more regulations about the chemicals that can be used in processed foods.
Yeah,
they're like the bread's way different even over there. Like everywhere I go outside the U.S., even Mexico, the bread's different.
Before, so there are in Europe they can't import certain American foods.
Right.
Yeah.
So the FDA is not doing their job.
I would argue, man, they're doing their job real well. Whoever's paying them, they're
well, they're doing the job to kill us, but that's not what
right.
they
That's
were
what I'm
supposed to
saying.
do.
We assume that they're to protect us, but that's just a false assumption. I would argue.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, they're there to
government. We're here to help.
They're there to push the UN's bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta look when all these departments were created. They were largely created throughout the basically mine and Clint's lifetimes.
Yeah, it all happened
the Reagan administration, if you will.
Yes. Yeah. And there are so many conservatives that idolize Reagan.
You don't really care for Reagan.
Well, even the credit system.
Yeah, the credit. They want it. They put the communists been pushing the credit socialists. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I froze.
No, I had to inhale.
Yeah, creditors and debtors.
Yeah, I don't know what the latest. Well, I know what the national debt is, but I don't know what the average personal debt is.
I think it's like 400,000. I think, or something like that.
I'm asking. We lost JJ.
Yeah, he must have lost service. Oh, he's back.
I was out here inadvertently trying to infer Sabrina was old and bad mouthing the Reagan administration. I got zapped.
I'm
no, I was
sorry,
just saying.
JJ,
I wasn't trying to call you old, man. I was just saying during the Reagan administration, mine and Clint's life. That's the 80s and 90s. There, we saw a lot of these cultural changes really shift through that time with like the credit score system, that kind of thing.
They didn't call him Red Ronnie for nothing.
Well, that's the thing. He gets this idea. I've always been apolitical, but I've had a lot of disputes with conservative types over the years where they're like Ronald Reagan's this conservative fucking hero. I'm like, how, dude? How?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine tell me George Bush would be number 2, would be known as one of the greatest presidents in U.S. history, in which I spit the beer out of my mouth during the conversation. Like, you gotta be kidding me, dude. People get some real, both sides. They get real dissolute. They get some real misperceptions of what's really going on.
That's true. From both sides, yes.
Yeah. One time I was at the asthma doctor. And it was really weird because there was some like 90-something-year-old dude there sitting there, and I started talking to him, and then I found out that he was in the CIA. and then he's like, he was bragging about meeting Bush, and he's like, he was ultra proud.
Just drinking the Kool-Aid, huh? I know a lot of those types. Yeah, well, I mean, look, the Department of Education may have started under Carter, but it was ramped up under Reagan. So it's, again, folks get real, they have some real misconceptions of what's really going on there.
Yeah. Well,
and America's gotten real dumb. Look at the public school education numbers. I mean, I have a son who just recently graduated high school in last year, so I guess I'm somewhat familiar with how shitty the public education system is. But
can your son read and write?
Oh, he's extremely intelligent. He's far above his peers.
Oh, yeah,
because there's a lot of them that can't read and write. I mean, the numbers are quite astonishing. Yeah. Like, and it goes into college where none of these students are prepared for any secondary level of education.
Yeah.
My son just started college, and I was like, he was kind of nervous, but I'm like, dude, you're so much more intelligent and more motivated than 99.9% of people you're going to meet in college.
Yeah, everybody's really dumb.
Because again, it's the sad state of the Department of Education, but that's what it's done is dumb down America. There's really no question about it.
Yeah, that's part of the goals. So they could drive people to go to the military or the factories.
Oh, that's always been the corporate
what
conspiracy goals.
Factories? What factories are they going to go into?
They were caught well, at least in the 90s, they were caught red-handed. Make the placement test that you take in school that tells you what kind of job you should do. They were caught red-handed making the test say that they should all work in factories.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, someone's got the idea that everyone goes to college is not a good idea. Someone's got to work in factories. If we ever have them, operating in America again.
Well, I always promote like small private businesses, because everybody's like, oh, we have to have a union. It's like, yeah, but if you owned your own small private business, you wouldn't need a union because you'd be the boss.
Yeah, but that's part of the program to shut down as well, dude, because obviously when Amazon and everyone else was allowed to stay open during the great blue avian flu of 2020, that shut down small businesses, dude. Right now we got a trans alien that's running the Small Business Administration during the Trump administration. This lady looks like she just, that character, Vincent D'Onofrio from the first Men in Black, where he's like, he wears that dude's skin as a human suit, right? The lady running the Small Business Administration is some sort of alien wearing human skin as a suit. She's a real. I mean, I'm just saying, I highly doubt she's accomplishing anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In regards to aiding and abetting, more small business fucking shit in America.
Well, they're purposely parading around people who, how you can look at somebody and that there's nothing behind the eyes.
Right. Most folks I encounter throughout my daily life.
the mayor of Los Angeles, Mamdani, it's like there's nothing there.
Yeah, I mean there is something to the NPC argument for sure.
Yeah.
I literally it was a couple months ago now because I was down in Florida at the time, but I'm literally scanning things at a self-scanning register at Walmart, and dude just walks up and tries to start scanning shit while I'm scanning my order. Like I'm halfway through scanning. I have other items there still sitting there, and he just tries to start scanning. I'm like, bro, I'm using this machine. He goes, oh, what? And I'm like, I wanted to put it out in sign language for him. I wasn't trying to be a dick about it, but he wasn't retarded or nothing because I initially gave him an ocular pat down. Is this guy retarded? He just didn't get it, dude. There's nothing behind the eyes. He literally was trying to scan things while I'm scanning my order.
He was trying to scan your stuff maybe to make you pay for it, and then
dude. It was as if I wasn't standing there, dude. You know what I mean? Huh. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
That's weird.
It was super weird, dude. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's something to the NPC thing because I'm trying to explain to the guy I'm in the middle of scanning things. Like I have things in a bag, I have things in my hand. There's things sitting there, and he's like, "Huh." And I'm like, "Can you hear the words coming out of my mouth?"
Sometimes when people are like, I don't know. My girlfriend she's always like, "Don't say anything," and I'm like, "Fuck you! I'll say whatever the fuck I want."
Exactly, dude.
Don't say anything when
people are doing something fucked up or stupid. And they're like, "Hey, you!" Like, yeah, I'm looking at you. Fucking, what the fuck are you doing? People are like,
yeah, that's not a bad idea there, Heather Fitzgerald. I would not go where I go either. I am definitely a magnet for weird shit.
Yeah, like fucking. One time, fucking, I was smoking a cigarette in my yard, and I'm in the middle of the country. And some dude just decides to walk up my driveway. I'm like, "Who the fuck are you?" he's like, "Oh, can I use your phone?" I'm like, "You better get the fuck out of here." And he's like, "Oh, I need to use the phone." He claims somebody was trying to attack him or something. I'm like, "You better get the fuck out of it." I told him to fuck off, and I can't remember what I said.
I was at a dog park last week, and I had some crackhead come over. It was just me and my dog at the dog park. There's someone else there at the time. Some crackheads walking by the park from outside the penned-in dog area, and she's like, "Hey, can I use your phone?" And I was like, "I mean, yeah, give me the number you need to call." and I put it on speakerphone, and I held it on my side of the fence, and she goes, "Oh, I get it. I can't hold your phone." I'm like, "Fuck, now you can't hold my phone, you crackhead."
Yeah. Fucking crackheads.
No one answered the number she called. I presume the entire thing was a ruse for her to try to steal my phone, but I ain't falling for no crackhead shit.
Yeah. What was
I don't live in a neighborhood with crackhead stuff.
No, I don't either, ma'am. I was visiting. It's Claremont County, Ohio. It's the #1 overdose death capital of America, drug overdose death capital of America.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, from 1980 to 2015, no other county per capita had more overdose deaths than the place I used to call home.
Oh.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, I went to public school there. I'll tell you, it's fucked up. I was in public school there at the heart of that fucking overdose epidemic, dude. In fact, my graduating class wasn't that big. Yeah, I mean, it's not a big county, you know. It's at least it wasn't at the time, Claremont County. That's where I went to high school, and the out of my high school graduating class, out of the non-mentally handicapped, because they closed down the mentally handicapped school in the county. For some reason, they all graduated in my class. So there was like 20 some MRDD students in my class. So not out of them, so maybe 200 other students, 200 regular students. When I say MRDD, we had this one super autistic kid. He would literally beat the shit out of a student every day. It was just like a fucking death pool to figure out, because no one would maintain him, and he had superhuman strength. It was crazy. I had to pull him off a couple people, dude. It got wild a few times. But anyway, out of the regular students, we had like 200. Easily 20 of those have died of overdose deaths.
Jesus.
That's
horrible.
That's 10% of my graduating class.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that died from drugs.
I know from other classes too. My dude, the Cincinnati Strangler, he died a couple years back now. It's probably been 6 or 7 years, but it's pre-COVID. But yeah, he died one weekend in Columbus, Ohio. He was living in Columbus with his wife at the time. This is shit. He was damn near 40 because I was 40 at the time, I think. Anyway, I think there was a dozen folks that died that weekend in Franklin County, Ohio, there where Columbus, Ohio is, with fentanyl-laced, some sort of fentanyl-laced opioid, which is what got him. And
That's
like
sad.
11 other folks that one weekend alone. Dude, this is before COVID, dude. They didn't have enough morgue space for folks in a lot of these counties.
Yeah, I remember there was some kind of epidemic in the news or something.
Oh, dude, it's bad. I'm telling you, within 3 years of graduating, I mean, I joined the Air Force, but within 3 years of graduating, there was easily a dozen folks in my graduating class already that died of an overdose.
Yeah, it's fucked up. A lot of the people I knew, it's like I knew them when I was young, and then they turned to drugs, and then I didn't really hang out with them anymore, and they were all evil and like died from drugs. It's like not all of them, but like probably a majority of them.
Yeah, there's a high volume of cracktivity in and around Claremont County to this day. But to Heather Fitzgerald's comment about don't go where I'm at because I'm a magnet for weird shit. So I tend to find like crackheads tend to find me out. Like I was at a hotel, Motel 6, in Salt Lake City, Utah, and I think it was technically Ogden, Utah, but the greater Salt Lake complex, a few months back. And sure as shit, dude, I'm outside having a cigarette, walking my dog, and some crackhead walks up, like, "Hey man, how's it going?" I'm like, "Oh, here we go." I don't know what it is about me, but like crackhead's like, I gotta go talk to that guy.
Wow.
Yeah. Speaking of crazy stuff,
I'm not saying Claremont County's full of crackheads, but the ones that are there, they'll find me out. But that's kind of wherever I go. In fact, they just overturned a flock camera case in that county. So right down the street from my old house, there is a flock camera that some dude just assembled. Good for him. U.S. Army veteran father of 2 young daughters, not even a speeding ticket in his history. You know, he's 36 years old. He destroyed the flock camera. They charged him with 3 felonies. The grand jury refused to indict him on those felonies.
Oh yes, I read about that.
Yeah, and that prosecutor's a real douchebag. I know this because my ex-wife hired him as her. I don't even know how that's possible, but somehow she hired the prosecuting attorney for the county as her divorce attorney. I'm like, and the dude hated me. He already opened an unlawful grand jury on me one time. You know, they didn't find nothing. I'm a fucking Boy Scout, but nonetheless, there's a lot of criminality in that county for sure.
Wow.
That's fucked up.
Oh, it's all fucked up. I mean, all that Afro Man stuff a few months ago. That's the next county over there in Adams County, or technically 2 counties over, but there's not much of Brown County in between. And they actually called in the Claremont County sheriff's detectives to come, you know, obfuscate any sort of liability in that whole Afro Man situation, stealing money, breaking shit, doing unlawful warrants. And the Claremont County guys, I knew those detectives that came in. They came in and said, "Oh, we investigated it. No one did nothing wrong." And that's always the case around those parts. He won this, you know, he won the defamation suit those folks filed against him, which was nonsensical at best. And again, but there was no criminal charges against those guys because Claremont County came in and saved the day.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Oh, these are fiefdoms, man. I mean, it's there's a lot of criminal shit that goes on that I've witnessed and am deeply familiar with in Southwest Ohio counties.
Yeah. Oh, hey, JJ, I found your stream on Ed Edwards. You have a 1-hour version and you have a 4+ hour version.
Oh, okay.
So, and then I was able to get a copy.
You're saying my shows, I got a 1 hour and a 4 hour show? Is that what you're saying?
About Ed Edwards. Yep.
Yeah. So the 1 hour is probably just like a preview of the 4 hour one. I'm assuming. I don't recall, but that sounds right.
I started the 4 hour one, so I'll get through that one and ordered the book by
John Cameron.
Yes. It's me. I found a used copy.
Yep. It's a good book.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not sure. I would say he's not right on everything he asserts, but I'd say he's identified a pattern of behavior that is exclusive, I think, to this cult of a cult of an occult assassin team, right? Like the Hand of Death.
Yeah. So they commit
the alleged young men in water.
They commit murders, and then
it falls in line exactly with the same sort of MO of a network of cult killers. And again, I think it revolves around the same cult, the process. In fact, there's Ed Edwards has ties to the process, but Ed Edwards, one of those ties is the Atlanta child killings.
I wanted to ask you about the process, and do these cults, these kill cults, cooperate with each other, do you think? And I'm asking because I'm specifically thinking of a group like the Order of Nine Angles.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the Order of Nine Angles and 764 are both offshoots of the Neo Process movement.
But 764 is a relatively new one.
Neo Process movement.
But I thought 764 is relatively new.
It is, and so is 09A within the last 10 or 15 years.
Do you think the Hells Angels are connected to the process?
Well, they used to run security for their operations.
Because someone thinking about that thing that Welsh dude said about that goat.
It's not just the Hells Angels, though. What I would say it's probably the 1%ers. So, it's like the top echelon of multiple different biker groups. For example, there was one called the Rat Pack out of Waterbury, Connecticut, I believe, is their headquarters. And they were known for years for running. I'm sorry, Bridgeport, Connecticut. Bridgeport. They were known for years to be the enforcement arm of the Bridgeport PD. and their biker gang leader, that's in the 50s. That's going back to like the 50s. And by the 80s, their biker gang leader was running security for the Process Church. His name was Tiny Lentini. He's dead now, but he was a multi-time convicted sex offender and informant for every federal agency under the sun.
Huh.
That's how he stayed out of jail. That's how Edwin Edwards stayed out of prison. Oftentimes, he was informing on crimes that he had committed, framing other folks for him.
Wow.
Well, the crime he committed. So people don't understand the devious nature of Ed. Like, not only is he the only Zodiac suspect to actually commit Lover's Lane murders, proven as fact. No other suspect that anyone names as the Zodiac killer. And this is totally separate from the fact that the guy in the hood on September 27th, 1969, at Lake Berryessa, California, told Brian Hartnell, an attorney who's a man of great memory and high IQ, so I believe his story, despite him getting stabbed a dozen times or so by the man in the mask or the man in the hood. But the man in the hood recited very specific details of Edwin Edwards' life. It's too much. It's too much of an impossibility. But that coupled with Ed's the only Lover's Lane murderer that's named out of any suspects, and he did Lover's Lane murders across numerous decades and states. But the most disturbing Edwin Edwards known is the 1996 murder of Danny Boy Edwards, a 19-year-old man he adopted. He moved into a northern Ohio town and immediately went down to the Elks Club and got to know the town. The FBI we would later learn the FBI told the local police department, if this guy reports any crimes to you, listen to him. He knows what he's talking about. And that actually played a role later because there's a detective in northern Ohio today that is very butthurt with the FBI for telling him that, because he would later investigate the murder of Danny Boy Edwards, and Ed would later confess to it. But seeking the death penalty once he was caught. That's what got him the death penalty, was confessing to this murder. But he moved into a town, immediately started entering himself into a young man's life, and adopted him somehow as a 19-year-old. Got him to join the army, got him to go AWOL after boot camp, and then shot him. And then scattered his body around months later in different parts of town, trying to confuse the investigation, and collected the $250,000 life insurance policy. At the very same time he's doing that over an 18-month period, he's the Ohio varsity. His son's the Ohio varsity, or whatever weight class he wrestled in. He was Ohio wrestling champ, high school wrestling champ, and Ed was the coach for the varsity wrestling team that coached his son. So he's a state championship wrestling coach, along with his son being the state champion. At the very same time that he's, intricately plotting the murder of this young man, this whole insurance.
JJ, do you really think that Edwards had he says he's trying to make people believe that he had a fit of conscience in admitting that he killed his foster son?
No, he's not. He was pretty open with Cameron about it, that he was only trying to get the death penalty. So he gets busted for a 1979 Lover's Lane murder out of Wisconsin, or 1980, and from a DNA hit. So his daughter sees this cold case local news piece out of Wisconsin, and she's like, "Wait a second, I know that spot. My dad took us to that spot at that very same time they're talking about." So she remembered it, and turns out Ed was the number one suspect by the local PD, but somebody shut that down. And that's kind of the story of Ed's life. Someone's always there shutting it down, and he's getting away with these crimes. But, because he had CIA credentials. He had CIA credentials that was issued to him. If you look what the CIA was doing in Key West, Florida, in November of 1957, you'll find pictures of Fidel Castro as the CIA and Castro are planning the overthrow of the Batista government of Cuba. And Ed provably got CIA credentials down there at the very same time, and he claims that in his book. And there's evidence to demonstrate that Cameron provides.
So what's the impetus for this? Just a death cult?
Multiple. It's a multifaceted. So have you ever seen the film? Well, I don't want to do that. So, you'll have the official operations, and then these people do things. We're like, well, we got to cover that up because we want this guy to do more official stuff for us in the future. When I say official, yeah, it's a death cult, but of more government-driven variety.
It seems like they're doing hits or something
outside of that, if you will.
It seems like they might be doing hits or something. Like
well, that's what I'm getting. They're doing. There's definitely hits.
Oh, are they hits?
So let's take Ed for example. Ed became the #1 most wanted man in America in that have been January of 1959, I believe it was, and I believe it was in November of 1958. He gets arrested for a Lover's Lane murder in Portland, Oregon, but he doesn't get arrested under the name Edwin Edwards. He gets arrested under the name Dr. James Garfield Langley. He had all the documents to prove it, because he says those documents were issued to him back when he got recruited by the CIA, and I believe him, because for multiple reasons, not to get into all the proof, but I have multiple. For example, I have multiple copies of his marriage licenses. He's married to the same woman under both names, Ed Edwards and under Dr. James Garfield Langley, and those are official files within the state registry. So there's no question about it. Yeah, Langley is in the. Yeah, they're not very creative of Langley. Dr. James Garfield, like the president, James Garfield, and Langley, like the CIA headquarters. But he gets arrested under those credentials and escapes the Portland jail that night. But and he would later use those credentials numerous times over, as proven by his NCIC record that John Cameron produced. But my point there is that I think Ed was operating out of on his extracurricular activities in Lover's Lane murder there that night, because he escapes the Portland jail, and there's a naval lieutenant's car that is later connected to his escape, and that naval lieutenant was found murdered on the side of the road. So I think Ed was officially sanctioned to go do a hit on this naval lieutenant out of the Astoria, Oregon naval station. But en route to do that, he got a little bit of of his extracurriculars in him, right? So the Zodiac Killer said he would get his rocks off by killing young women, specifically strangling him. So that's what he did. That he got his rocks off, strangling a young woman in a Lover's Lane situation.
That's fucked up.
What's more fucked up is the obvious mind control aspect of it. So Ed shows up to the scene of the crime the next day. That's how he gets arrested. He's got a bullet hole in his arm and he's bleeding, standing at the scene of the crime. And the cops are real dumb, because cops are dumb. But they were smart enough to see that bullet hole in the window, saying the male victim in the car, had a gun and shot at the assailant. And when they see Ed with the bullet hole in his arm bleeding, they're like, "Oh, let's arrest this guy." So that's how he got arrested in the first place. But he escapes, murders a naval officer, and then becomes the most wanted man in America for the next 14 months.
Wow.
Huh. It's just like an X-Files episode.
And he's absolutely the Atlanta child killer. Everyone wants to have. So that's more of his direct relations with the process, because the process was all over the Atlanta child killings. But
do you think
Ed's absolutely the Atlanta child killer?
There was a X-Files episode, and it had the guy from RoboCop 2 or 3. I think it was 2. Had the bad guy, and
Robert Patrick.
Maybe I'm not sure what his name is, but he was in the X-Files episode, and it was about Mulder went to visit some guy that was in prison or something, and was trying to thought that he had more victims or something, and found some kind of book with like cut out hearts or something that were the victims from their clothing, and that the episode sounds very similar to that. Some of the stuff you're saying.
Are y'all watching this thing popping off out of Philadelphia right now? There's a full-blown House of Horrors serial killer situation popping off there. The guy had both DEA and FBI credentials. They got snuff films. They got drug trafficking.
Yeah, I heard about that. I seen people post about snuff films on Twitter.
Yeah, dude, it's getting wild, dude. He had DEA and FBI credentials. They got numerous dead ladies attached to this whole situation. 2 of them on film as snuff films. It's getting crazy.
That's fucked up. Philadelphia is extremely dangerous.
His father was a pornographer for like 40 years, which is saying something because that's, or 50 years, which is saying something because that goes back before pornography was really legal. So he goes back to 1968. He was this huge underground pornographer. I haven't gotten the exact process connections yet, but it's there. I promise you that much. Yeah, he printed these whole sadomasochistic magazines. He called it art, where he was strangling women and like little fantasy murder stuff.
Oh, you know who else was into that stuff? At least according to his personal assistant. I read an interview with her years ago. Was Hunter S. Thompson.
For sure.
Yeah, I heard about that.
He's named in the same network of pornographers and snuff filmers.
He threw her out of his house when she refused to watch one, according to her. And, it just makes me think, so everybody loves Johnny Depp. They just think he's such a sweet guy. I don't. I think he's a creep because he was very close friends with Hunter S. Thompson.
When I read that story, it was a story from California newspaper. It used to be on the web. It was an interview with a male prostitute that claimed to be at Bohemian Grove, and that the male prostitute claimed that Larry King and Hunter S. Thompson made him eat and have sex with, and that
Paul Bonacci.
Is it Paul Bonacci?
When I read that, I was
Paul Bonacci. Yep.
He said he had been involved in the luring of Johnny Gosch, I think, right?
Yep. And you know why I believe his story about Gosch and Hunter S. Thompson, besides the fact that the other, there's a lot of, substantiating evidence that he provides as far as some of the claims he makes can be substantiated. Paul Bonacci was very likely the next in line to be a member of the Society of the Cincinnati. He's an Anderson. His mom's Bonacci. His dad's an Anderson.
In your research, have you ever ran into a castle called Coral Castle, or not Coral, Kimball Castle or Cherokee Castle in Colorado? It was alleged
that's the one that Bonacci speaks of, right?
Isn't it?
I think so. That's the one where author of the Franklin scandal. What's that dude's name?
I know there was a female journalist that
claims to have found that house. Dude claims to have found that house. It was owned by a sheriff's deputy out there. He's even talked to the sheriff's deputy's wife. The dude's a real dark son of a bitch, apparently.
This Kimball Castle is it's like a place that's rented out for banquets or something. It's like a
Kimball Castle.
Yeah, it's alleged that there's summer solstice satanic meetings there, and some journalist tried to take pictures once, and she was like really far away, and they still found her and threw her in a loony bin and held her there and took her cameras and shit. That nobody really knows what goes on there. Sometimes, I mean, I'm sure that they've moved locations by now, but whatever was happening there, if it was true, was some kind of weird satanic meetings or something.
But yeah, the Paul Bonacci situation is interesting because that's the epicenter of the Franklin scandal and the John Wayne Gacy situation.
Where, JJ?
Paul Bonacci's half brother, McCoy, who is also probably in line to be a member of the Society of the Cincinnati. He's of a proper McCoy line, of the same Hatfields and McCoys, of the same Richard McCoy, of the DB Cooper situation. Very prominent McCoy family. I'm a McCoy, but my point there is McCoy was one of the victims of Gacy, and that was the stepbrother of Paul Bonacci. So we have the union of the McCoys and the Andersons, where they were Bonacci's parents.
Do you think the Franklin prostitute ring is connected to Bohemian Grove?
I think it's there. These are all what we're describing is elements of the same beast.
That it's a network. Yeah. They're all networks.
Yeah, which is why they use people within that network, and those are the Society of the Cincinnati families. That's why we find Bonacci and his stepbrother both being victims of the same network.
Bonacci
one
was
died.
A prostitute.
One was turned into a prostitute. The other one was murdered.
I'm surprised it doesn't say Hunter S. Thompson in this Wikipedia, because it names Larry King as one of the accusers.
It was definitely Paul Bonacci. I know exactly what you're talking about. It was definitely Paul Bonacci that made those claims.
Yeah, it's Paul Bonacci, but it's interesting because the article about Paul Bonacci's accusations, it's only listing Larry King, not Hunter S. Thompson. Huh. That's weird. Yeah, I think that I don't know. I back like 25 years ago, I might have thought Hunter S. Thompson was cool, but after I read that allegation, it's like what the fuck? These people, there's some sick people out there. Like,
and I think even though it wasn't as big as the Franklin scandal, I know that everybody in chat and JJ and Clint, I'm sure you know about the Finders case.
For sure.
Is that the Texas one?
No,
the Texas one was the worst one I ever heard of.
The Florida, Washington D.C. one, and what they did to that customs officer, Ramon Martinez. I think he's still alive, but of course, no one hears a word out of him. I'm sure he was threatened. But I read his report. He stuck to his guns.
Well, those are all matters of national security, ma'am.
There was a prostitution.
You knew where they were getting the goats that they were sacrificing for the Finders? It seems they were getting them from Sidney Gottlieb's goat farm. True story.
What?
That's weird.
Sidney Gottlieb opened up a goat farm just down the street from the Finders farm in Virginia.
Ugh.
So it seems we may have found the source of those goats. Well, yeah, they were a CIA contracted company at the time of that whole scandal.
Well, I mean, that's what I thought there was a link based upon Ramon Martinez's statement.
Oh, not only that, it's documented so that his statement that the CIA shut it down, but it's documented that the entire Finders cult worked for one software company, and they were contracted with the CIA. And Marion Petty, the head of the cult, he made his bones driving around generals from the Pentagon to their homes at Fort Belvoir. That was his military service. Now his son flew for Air America. These are things I've been able to confirm. Yeah. His son flew for Air America and brought himself a nice little Vietnamese lady home as his wife. Got that marriage license as well. But yeah, that whole network is pretty deep within the national security state, long before the incident in Florida.
Huh. So do you think
they still exist? The Finders still exist. They're in Kansas, by the way.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these cults. I mean, these cults don't go anywhere. The Heaven's Gate still exists. The Waco cult. I mean, all these cults still exist.
Yeah.
Isn't Kansas near Elohim City? Somewhat.
Yeah, I mean, it's not far. A few hours.
A couple hours.
Yeah. About 4.
Yeah, there's definitely something going on in Kansas, I think.
We ain't in Kansas no more, Clint.
Wow.
From what I've heard, there's a lot of gang violence.
Well, you got to think about what's the natural course of all these, we talk about all these national security state programs and operations. What's the natural course of these things decades later? I mean, in my opinion, the Muppet Show's left the tracks. I mean, the Muppet trains left the tracks. It's just getting ready to collide at some point in time. Because I think that's what we're seeing with this case out of Philadelphia. Dude didn't just have they're not reporting that he glued his own picture on some stolen FBI credentials. They're saying he had FBI credentials with his name and picture on it, and he had DEA credentials with his name and picture on it. He reeks of a mind-controlled asset. We have the mainstream media reporting snuff films, something the FBI has been fighting for decades to say don't exist.
Yeah,
that's fucked up.
Absolutely. I'm just saying, the natural progression of all this national security state is it's gonna hit a wall at some point in time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to let you all keep talking. I have to get up to go to work tomorrow, unfortunately. It's a school night. But JJ, I'm glad you came on. Yeah. Lots of fun. And always fun when you're here. Clint, thank you for letting me come on again. I appreciate it. And yeah, have a good night, everyone.
Peace.
Peace out.
All right. Yeah, freaking up.
I mean, when was the last time you heard of a satanic scandal at a daycare, right?
That's probably like 5 a year.
I mean, they keep things under wraps. I mean, right now there's over 24 daycare scandals on military installations, but no one's talking about it. That's what I'm getting at is the floodgates.
Tell you about
time have to open up.
Did I tell you about that thing about that base that was in North Carolina? I think that story that Sparks was telling. I was digging into it, just looking at the background of the base. Just the story's not necessarily related to Sparks' story, but like there was a number of child deaths at that base that were suspicious, where it was like they were claiming that the kids suffocated under a blanket or something, and there was a number of them, and it was like, what the fuck is going on there? It's like definitely something pretty fishy. Because I mean, I thought it might have been some kind of supernatural shit, but it could be like some kind of like fucking maniac idiots or something that are
like here's the deal, like if something goes on, anything that goes on at a base, dude, they either don't have to tell you anything at all, or they'll tell you some fake story, dude. I've seen them both ways.
Yeah. Huh.
Dude, I watched the Air Force cover up a murder of a retarded fella. Not far from you, actually. Selfridge Air Force Base.
Did you ever go into that Admiral Borda? Did you ever run into his research on him before? He was supposedly suicided, but I'm pretty sure the caliber that was in his chest didn't match what his sidearm was. Or else I can't remember. It was because I'm pretty sure that.
No, but check this. This retarded fellow drove through the gate at Selfridge Air Force Base and didn't stop, and then drove around base for a while because they got guards and military police at the gate. Didn't stop, drove around base for a while, and they just decided they were going to murk the dude, so they murked him.
Jesus.
Yeah, I watched the Air Force cover that one up.
Well, that's fucked up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. I watched a lady jump over a fence at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base on July 3rd, 2003, threatening to blow up George Bush. She had a box in her hand, claiming it was a bomb, threatening to blow up George Bush, who was going to be there the next day at the Air Force Museum, right about 200 yards away from where she jumped over the fence, giving a speech. And, that lady, I'm pretty sure, was literally erased from existence, dude. There was nothing in the papers. There was no official reports on the matter. I got fucking reprimanded for even asking about it. And I was there. I watched it go down.
Jesus. That's fucked up.
So,
she was probably some crazy lady, too.
She may have been shoveled off to Guantanamo or Guantanamo. We don't know, but...
Do you think she was a real threat, or do you think she was just some crazy lady with a...
I know she was a crazy lady from nearby. I know. I got her name and shit like that, dude. That's what I'm saying. But the whole thing was erased afterwards, and I was told to forget about it.
Huh.
So they may have shipped her off to Guantanamo, but she didn't exist after that, man. I watched the erasing go down.
Yeah, that's what's fucked up. They let a bunch of illegal immigrants in, but then they have all this shit going on. And it's like there's no way that they didn't plan to let all those immigrants in.
Yeah, how do you erase an American citizen, though?
You'd have to. Well, they probably would have to.
I watched it, dude.
They probably had somebody go and steal records or something, like hard files. And
I'm not saying they got River Pass. I'm just saying they got River Future.
Oh, I see.
And there was no trials. There was no nothing, dude.
She might have died or something. I mean, was she just arrested, or did they,
Oh, they arrested her, all right.
Oh, okay.
The Secret Service beat us to the scene. And we get to my buddy and I. So I was leaving the Area B gym. I'll give you the longer version. It might make more sense. There's 3 different areas of Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. The Area B gym's an old hangar, just huge hangar. I'm getting ready. I'm getting done working out and getting ready to go to work. But we had numerous patrols that came on an hour early, so you always had a patrol out patrolling on duty, despite shift change, right? So, he was in Area B patrol that came on an hour early. So I see him as I'm walking out of the gym, and we're talking in the lobby, and he gets a call about a crazy lady just jumped the fence over there by the Air Force Museum. I don't have a gun on me, but I'm in uniform getting ready to go to work. So I get in his patrol car with him for backup. We go over to the scene. We're 90 seconds away, dude. We get there. Secret Service is in a blacked out van, literally swooping her up into the van without even stopping as we're getting there, dude. I watched the whole thing go down, dude. Lady with the box suit getting swept into a van. And we're like, what the fuck? And the Secret Service guys are like, you guys can stand down. We got it taken care of.
Oh, yeah.
They got an Advon team of security. They got every time the president goes somewhere, they got a team in advance and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They probably threw her in federal prison.
Well, they were working on her. Well, I don't know what they did with her, dude. When I asked questions, I got threatened and shit.
Oh, I see. So there was,
yeah, because they had a debrief, and I wasn't there for the debrief, right? Because I wasn't on duty. My friend just dropped me back over by my car at the gym, and I went to work. During that period of time, there was a debrief where everyone was told that never happened, and I wasn't part of that debrief. Nor did I find it a sufficient answer at the end of shift when I asked my lieutenant. I said, "Hey, Lieutenant, what's going on?" He goes, "Come to my office. Shut the door. You're not supposed to know about that. Who told you?" And I was like, "Bitch, I was there. What do you mean who told me?"
What if that lady was like MK Ultra or something?
I don't know, dude. She was a local Fairborn, Ohio lady. I can tell you that much. I looked up her whole fucking driver's license that night. Got in more trouble for that.
I don't see what the big deal would be about.
So I'm just saying, dude. Like, we don't know what goes on in this world, man. You know what I mean? We're told narrative. We make logical assumptions. But at the end of the day, dude, I've watched people get fucking deleted, bro.
Jesus. That's fucked up. Yeah, definitely take your word for it. Yeah, the New World Order is fucked up. It's like all that stuff that Cooper said. It's like I'm surprised he was able to say all that stuff as long as he did. You know, if it was as bad as what Todd was saying, how Todd had a radio show and was getting threatened and stuff. I mean, like, I don't know.
That's just it. I'm sure he was threatened a lot before that.
Oh yeah.
So you know who George DeMoran Shield is?
Let me see.
He was Lee Harvey Oswald's handler. OSS CIA guy.
Oh, okay.
Those quote unquote white Russians.
Was he connected to? Was he connected to the?
He was connected to the Reinhard Gehlen network.
Oh, the Nazi dude.
Yeah. He was also Lee Harvey Oswald's handler. He was also Jackie Kennedy's quote unquote uncle, close family friend.
Is he connected to Jack Ruby at all, or?
Probably. He was there in Dallas, so there probably was a Ruby connection. Not that I can think of, but he wrote a letter to George Bush when George Bush was CIA director. A personal letter. They clearly knew each other. It's in the files. It's when he's being called for the House Select Committee on Assassinations to testify. Whoa. And George DeMoran Shield is asking George Bush, in a sense, he doesn't spell it out, but he says he's asking him to get people to help get his assistance as the CIA director to stop the gang stalking. So DeMoran Shield is being gang stalked despite being a high up agent within the network.
Huh. Well, that's interesting. I wonder if there was a good reason to gang stalk him.
Well, I think they wanted to threaten him not to testify in the House Select Committee on Assassinations, but
oh, I see.
Because he was on paper documented with Oswald because he's the one who got Oswald the job.
Huh.
At the book depository.
Oh.
So there was no distancing himself from Oswald. He was going to be called, and they were threatening him, I think. But at the same time, like, they got no problem gang stalking somebody like DeMorenshield, an agent within the system, you know, who's probably done a lot of stuff, hood rat shit for the system, right? For the network. They got no problem gang stalking anyone at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard stories about people at concerts sleeping in their festivals or whatever, and they say that there's some kind of strange undercover vehicles that'll pull up and just take pictures of everybody's license plates and shit. All sorts of and that's just like a festival thing. There's there's probably so much stuff that we don't. I mean, you can always tell by their cars, the wheels, what kind of wheels they got, or the rims, typically. Yeah.
The best book I've seen on the subject is called Camellia. It's called Strange Tales and Heroin Addiction and Homeland Security.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's like Cooper says, he busts out a map. He says, look at all these big cities. All these big cities got all these drugs going to them. You think they're all just getting there magically, fucking there's some kind of empire that's controlling it, some kind of very dark empire that
for sure,
I've heard rumors from black people in the hood when I used to live in the hood like 25 years ago that they said that people were agents and in apartment or hotels and stuff. They claimed there were agents that were slinging keys and stuff, and it was like, what? I don't know. These were like people I played basketball with, hung out and smoked weed with and stuff.
I don't doubt it.
There's all sorts of stories you hear in the city.
Well, how does Claremont County, Ohio, become the #1 drug overdose death capital of America for 35 years? How do they get the drugs in there? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Well, I found a CIA front company working out of the regional airport. To date. Well, I don't know about to date, but 7-8 years ago, still to date.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're involved in some shady shit.
Oh yeah, well connected right to Les Wexner and Air America, dude. It's all one network, especially out of Ohio. Wexner and Epstein bought Air America from CIA.
Oh whoa. Yeah, Wexler, the TV dude, or yeah,
Victoria's Secret.
Oh okay. Yeah, one of the books I was reading about Jim Jones, he kept going to this hotel, and the hotel was to be a known spot where the intelligence was set up. That they thought that he was communicating with them, and that the writer thought that I think it was like the governor of California or something, a mayor or something, went to try to go to that spot where Jim Jones was, and then he got murked.
Congressman Leo Ryan.
Yeah, that's it. Yep. Man, this fucking weed tastes like pickles or something.
Pickle weed, huh? All right.
Ah, it's horrible. I just don't want to smoke all the other weed. It's like 30% THC, but it tastes like fucking garbage. Yeah, like because I keep digging into this SLA thing, digging into it more and more, finding that because you're talking about the Air America thing. It's like those
Air America.
Ever since that Lethal Weapon movie review or whatever, like fucking on your show.
Lethal Weapon's basically the air, like CIA operations in America, the drug trafficking.
Yeah, like all those LAPD people that were in Air America or in Phoenix. It's like there was 3 people that were right next to Donald DeFreeze, and it's like one of them even gave him a nickname, and it's like there's no way that fucking and then Cooper flat out says that Donald, all the records don't say it. The records will only say that he was volunteering, but Cooper says that he was Donald DeFreeze was the head lieutenant of the riot squad of the LAPD, and that fucking I think that Donald DeFreeze took an undercover role or something, and that fucking and then he went too deep and that he was possibly implanted with a microchip. I think that's why his body was burned to get rid of the evidence. It reminds me of that.
If that's his real name.
Yeah.
Have you ever read the book Inherent Vice or seen the film Inherent Vice?
I've seen the film. It's been a while though.
So Owen Wilson's character is a sax player out of essentially the Laurel Canyon rock scene, right? And he goes to work for the feds, and they fake his death. But when I say he goes to work for the feds, he really goes to work for this cult. And working for this cult, he's working for like 4 different federal agencies and like local LAPD, and then the FBI, and then some other agency that's not described. But in each one of those agencies, he's got a different identity. But who's he really working for?
Yeah, it's like how people think that one guy in the bureau is Timothy McVeigh or something.
Right. I don't think that, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It'd be too convenient, right? Like, I'm not saying he definitely seems like he was a Fed by what Jonah or his produces an argument. I would agree that he was the undercover UCA on the PatCon operation with Bo Gritz. But that being said, I don't think he's that guy they claim he is. I think that's part of the shit coating.
The whole Bo Gritz thing is so fishy. It's like, I mean, he tried to fake being shot in the chest or something with a 45, and like,
right.
Then there was questions on his authenticity of his claims of his merits or something. And
no, for sure, he's a bullshitter. But we knew that. But we also know that he was the undercover agent for the FBI PatCon operation.
Well,
there was 2 undercover agents. One was listed as a retired Green Beret. The other one was listed as a former Green Beret.
It's like,
we know Bo Gritz to be the retired Green Beret because the same PatCon FBI unclassified documents list that individual to be the individual who settled the Ruby Ridge affair. Well, we know that to be Bo Gritz.
Well, so like, think about that Lethal Weapon movie where he's like, where they went independent somehow, and they were doing a drug thing, but it's like Bo Gritz and them, they weren't doing a drug thing, they were doing something else. And like, when I think the whole Randy Reaver thing, fucking like, because Cooper says that there was some kind of robot that had like some kind of mechanism where if Randy Weaver picked up the phone on the robot, that he would have got killed, and that I think that Bo Gritz might have been trying to kill Randy Weaver because Randy Weaver knew something. And
Randy Weaver knew a lot of shit. He was connected to the Aryan Nations, connected to Satanist cults.
Well, I think that's why that his wife was killed, because I think that she knew stuff too, and that's the only reason why they would have done that, and that sniper had to have known something that was involved with that whole scenario. He had to.
One of those snipers right now is out here shitcoating the Idaho 4 situation.
Oh, that's bizarre.
Right? He wrote a whole book on it.
Yeah, I think I remember you telling me about that. Fucking that's really bizarre, because it's like, I mean, like, take the Waco thing. Like,
he was a sniper there too. Same team of snipers.
Well, so what's her name? The PhD attorney, Linda Thompson.
The gorgeous Janet Reno.
No, well, Linda Thompson. She was
swimsuit, Sports Illustrated swimsuit model Janet Reno.
Not the butcher Waco. But so PhD Linda Thompson there. She's an attorney. That she was there on the scene. She was like camping out there. So I don't know what else she's doing. She like rounded up a militia or something at one point. But she said on one of the Cooper interviews with her that fucking she said that one of the people told her that all that they seen all of the Waco people already dead in a shed behind the house before it burned down, and that I think there could be something to that. I mean, but like, uh, I mean, the whole thing seems very because it seemed like the guy, what's his name? I can't think of his name, but he was a Seventh Day Adventist or whatever, and the fucking
David Koresh.
yeah, that I think he might have been involved in some kind of implant program where, like, it's like that X-Files where the guy's got he was in Vietnam and he's got some kind of implant in his neck, and he can't sleep and he's like doing all this crazy shit and fucking like that it's like, but they could be not doing something solo but some kind of project, like the Waco thing. All those people could have been some kind of experiment or something like.
Well, I don't doubt that they were. I also don't doubt that they were part of the same machinations of the national security state operations of this one enterprise that's existed in America since July of 1947, because they seem to have they were dealing a lot of guns out of the Branch Davidians, and they seemed to have intersected with what is known in all the unclassified documents of the Iran-Contra scandal as the quote-unquote Midwest Depot. It's a secret CIA depot known as Camp Stanley, which sits within an Air Force installation known as Camp Bullis on the northwest side of San Antonio.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's
where most of the arms for Iran-Contra and to the Mujahideen were all stored and transported from.
Whoa.
Out of an Air Force base in San Antonio. Well, a lot of folks don't want to talk about that.
That's what I was asking about. I remember if it was, might have been when you and Danny were on. I was asking about what kind of calibers did those people have? Because I remember I've read about those in Mujahideen and the Dennis Cuddy articles about the radical Islams and fucking they're connected. They're connected to the Nazis and like all sorts of weird shit. Like,
and they're connected to the same national security enterprise, dude. Because all that shit, all the weapons trafficking predominantly was all run out of that hub out of San Antonio for all these operations. I formerly knew a U.S. Army colonel who's now dead, thank God. He's a real piece of shit. He was a major figure in those in on the ground handing over those weapons, not just the Mujahideen, but the Nicaraguans as well.
Oh yeah, well, there's some weird shit down there in Texas. I think there's something weird going down there. All these big podcasters are moving down there. All sorts of, they outlawed weed in Texas. I think Texas is possibly working along with the cartel or something. Like, because there's no way that. I mean, they made it a felony to have 4 grams of weed in Texas.
For sure, dude. Again, that's the heart of those operations between Austin and San Antonio.
Yeah. Freeman used to allege that. I think it was him. He used to allege that some kind of occult presence in Texas, the universities.
Yeah, they got Crowley's documents down there at the University of Austin, Texas, and Austin there.
Yeah, there's something definitely weird going on down there.
Well, that's where the Confederacy got their power center from, was out of Williamson, Texas, just north of Austin.
Do you think Texas is working with the British?
I think they're working. Yeah, I think they're working against America, dude. I know a lot of the folks in the upper echelons of Texas, and they're all anti-American, if you ask me.
Was there any Knights of the Golden Circle or?
Yeah, in fact, yeah, dude, they're all Confederate related. In fact, one of the Muppets I'm thinking of, his grandfather was a major in the Confederate Army, and his great grandfather, and his second great grandfather was like one of the first judges in Texas.
Oh yeah.
And his brother worked for the Obama administration in charge of the FCC. So these Muppets still run a lot of things that are anti-American, if you ask me.
Oh yeah, there's a connection with the South and the British Aryan stuff.
Well, there's a direct connection from Tammany Hall, Aaron Burr, the initial conspiracy to overthrow the American government in 1803, and Texas. So when Aaron Burr and his conspirators got banished, they found a center of operations out of Williamson, Texas, Williamson County, just north of Austin, Texas. And this is the same power center that would later produce the Confederacy. So it's a direct tie back to Tammany Hall, which has been this anti-American political machine in New York City since day one,
Oh, yeah.
since Aaron Burr started it.
Cooper alleged that Aaron Burr was part of the British Israelism Aryan race thing.
Oh, he was 100% one of the leaders. Him and his buddy General James Wilkinson, who really Aaron Burr really took the orders from Wilkinson. They were the head. They were some of the heads of the anti-liberty faction of the Society of Cincinnati.
Oh yeah. Is there any Churchills in there by chance?
No, Churchill's a member of the society via his mother.
Oh, okay.
But Winston Churchill was a member.
Yeah,
World War II was waged by the Society of Cincinnati. If you look at it, the Allied forces.
Do you think Stalin was? I think that the.
I wouldn't be surprised. Rockefeller clearly installed all these Bolsheviks over there, dude.
Yeah, because there's definitely
according to that Twitter post I sent you, dude, we still got Lenin's granddaughter works in the U.S. government for NIH for Fauci.
Huh. Yeah. Oh yeah. That I think I seen that picture.
Isn't that crazy? So why do all of these communist leaders, family members work for the U.S. government? Lenin's granddaughter, Fidel Castro's sister, worked for the CIA. I mean, what are we? That's what I'm saying, dude. We live in a Muppet world. We think we know what's going on. We are possibly the most propagandized culture in the world, the American culture.
Oh yeah, that's why I think that Zbigniew Brzezinski is related to the Count Brzezinski. That's
Count Dracula, dude.
Eliphas Levi's.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't got a chance to look that up yet, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, and then this like ring in France of these socialists, Simon Ganu, some socialist lady. He's connected to Charles Ganu and what's his name, Edward Lord Lytton, Edward Bullier Lytton, the guy that wrote the Coming Race book. He turned the phrase "the pen is mightier than the sword."
The penis is mightier than the sword.
It was like he was friends with occultists that were raging socialists, and that one of them was friends with Albert Pike, the Eliphas Levi, and fucking I think it was like it was definitely I think they were trying to establish like they were trying to further the Grand Orient, that because it's like France is socialist, Russia's socialist, it's like China's socialist. They're all socialists. Like the Grand Orient seems to be some kind of socialist endeavor.
I would say the Vatican seems to be some sort of socialist endeavor.
Oh, they definitely are. They're like a slightly different brand though. It's Cooper goes over that. We're seeing with England. It's like England wants they all want a certain type. Like I think it's like England wants racial socialism, France wants class socialism, and then the Vatican probably wants racial socialism or some other variations, or communism. Yeah, freaking. Meanwhile, we're like sitting here just praying to get gold and silver money back.
I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Oh yeah. Well, I got a funny damn, I don't know. I got a silver coin and some American dollar. Like, well, I've got this. You know, like on the Goonies. That stupid scene.
Yeah, I mean, Trump's talking all this cryptocurrency stuff again, dude. I think it's all kind of ridiculous.
Oh yeah, it seems like I mean, there's okay. So like, from Dennis Cuddy's research, he talks about this Phoenix coin, and he connects it to this Russian crypto, and then he connects it to the what the fuck is that called? Some kind of like I can't think of the name of it. It's either way, it's some kind of crypto, and the I've been watching it. I've noticed it goes up when there's leftists in charge, and like I think that there's I don't know. It's like there's like a tiny possibility that, like, I mean, if we were to be on the hopium, like if we had mad hope or something, there's a tiny possibility that maybe they're trying to make a cryptocurrency to get rid of the Federal Reserve, but I highly doubt it.
Yeah, I highly doubt that as well. And like, where is the gold in the Federal Reserve? Rand Paul went there recently, like in Fort Knox. He's like, yeah, it's all the gold. I don't believe him.
Yeah, it's just like Cooper said. He's like, he's describing this video on the news. He's like, they put all the gold bars next to the bars and the cages or whatever in the vaults to make it look like it was full. and
Not
then
only that, where's the World Trade Center gold? Remember Die Hard 3, dude? That was a real story, Die Hard 3. Maybe not the whole story, but the gold part underneath the World Trade Center was real.
I mean, the first recall of the gold was 1933, May 1st. So it's definitely a socialist endeavor.
And we're talking about a heist of gold at this point, but after that, like Richard Nixon goes on TV, I think it was August 15th, 1972, and told everybody France asked for their gold back and we don't have their gold.
Yeah, 46 million gold or something.
Yeah, so he's either lying, and that's Society of Cincinnati Warfare, which I'm open to that with the French chapter specifically. But it begs the question: where is all that gold? Because the World Trade Center gold disappeared too. There was vaults from Wall Street and I believe World Trade Center Tower 6, I think it was, which we see depicted in the film Die Hard 3, and that gold is nowhere to be accounted for.
Maybe they stole their own gold.
Somebody stole that gold.
I mean, that sounds crazy, but
there was I found no record of insurance claims on that gold either, but I've also found no record of the gold, but I can find record the gold existed there. Can find record of the vaults that existed there, but there's no talk of it after September 11th.
Yeah. There's definitely something shady going on.
I mean, where is all this gold? Where's Yamashita's gold, dude, from World War II?
Yeah, that's a lot of gold.
Fuck yeah, that's a lot of gold.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna find it because I think they already got it.
That's what I'm saying. Even if this was getting transferred and passed around and distributed across the quote unquote black markets, where are you hiding all of that gold?
Same with all that Nazi stuff that they never found, quote unquote.
What about Saddam's gold? Did you ever see the film Three Kings with George Clooney, Mark Wahlberg, and another weird fellow? The weirder fellow?
I've also heard stories from.
We have pictures of that gold from Desert Storm. Whatever happened to that gold?
Yeah, one of my friends was in one of those pictures, or maybe it was his brother. I can't remember which. But
That's what I'm saying, dude. But we don't know where that gold is either, dude. That was a lot of gold. Saddam had a lot of gold.
Yeah. Yeah, my friend's brother's his name was Donnie. He's a crazy bastard.
Donnie Wahlberg, dude. Are you friends with Mark Wahlberg?
No, he was like a sniper in Iraq or something. He had all sorts of crazy stories. I didn't really know him too well. I just helped him install some kind of, what was it, freaking hot tub or something. I don't know. He needed help installing a hot tub.
Hot tub time machine, dude.
Well, I went there with his brother and helped him. We all helped him move it or whatever.
He went there with his brother. You woke up in 1985 because of hot tub time machine.
It was just fucked up because the dude would always like glare at me when I see.
That's a great movie, by the way. I like that movie. As much as I don't like John Cusack or Michelle Obama's cousin Craig Robinson, I enjoyed that film.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty good movie. That's what we need to make a comedy movie. It's like the 80s, but 80s/90s, early 90s, like just straight up funny. We need to have like mad humor going on, like fucking I don't know, because I've been talking.
I think they made that movie. It was called Chairman of the Board. It starred a fellow from Australia named Yahoo Serious.
Oh wait, that's that guy
Do you
from.
remember that shitty movie from the early '90s, dude?
I didn't see that one, but I seen the Einstein one.
Oh, my bad. That's what it was. I got it mixed up with Carrot Top. He was chairman of the board. You're right. Young Einstein with Yahoo Serious.
That's a good
what
movie.
What a shitty movie, dude.
It's classic.
Then there's chairman of the board with Carrot Top a couple years later, which was strangely not even remotely similar, but equally as awful.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. Yeah, so like,
it launched Carrot Top's career, dude. He's been a staple of Las Vegas entertainment ever since.
Oh yeah. Well, my friend that's a Sikh, he's got a bunch of money. I threw the idea out, like, you know, and I was like, we should make a comedy movie. You got a bunch of money. Hopefully he's not listening.
I mean, hopefully you can get Corey Feldman to star in it, dude. That'll be a masterpiece if you get Feldman in it.
Well, so if we did somehow get a big budget,
well, I don't think you need a big budget, dude. I'm pretty sure Feldman would work for like less than scale for sure.
All right, well, we need somebody cooler than Feldman to, you know.
He's pretty cool, dude. He's pretty cool, dude. He's a goonie, dude.
If we get Feldman on set,
dude, he didn't have a license to drive in that one movie.
Well, well, here's the thing. It's like, if we do get him on set, then we have to make another side movie that's a documentary of you just trolling him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's required. That's required.
And then we'll make the real money off that one.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he probably blocks folks in real life with the same rate he blocks folks on social media. Like, I just kept asking if he wanted to go hunt vampires with me, and he blocked me, dude. I don't think it's a reason to block somebody.
Yeah, he definitely seems kind of weird.
He definitely, I feel like he would want to go. He should want to go hunt vampires.
Yeah,
It's like, Corey, we have the same birthday. We can hunt vampires together, dude. Let's be best friends. And he's like, blocked.
What makes you wonder about some of these people? It's like,
I don't wonder at all, dude. That dude's been so victimized, I have no doubt. And he's still very much playing a victim game where he's being controlled.
Well, I mean, like, what if he wasn't actually victimized? I'm not saying that there isn't tons of Hollywood victims and stuff, but like, what if he was just crazy and he like he's just making it all up?
with Corey Feldman, you can't rule that out. That's the Feldman factor, dude. You can't rule it out.
Yeah, because I've heard so many crazy stories. It's like, is this person crazy? Probably.
More than likely, yeah. I tend to lean towards Looney Tunes, right?
Yeah,
like, you may have been kidnapped by Bigfoot, but odds are in favor that you're just Looney Tunes.
Yeah, the whole Bigfoot.
I got kidnapped by Bigfoot once.
I swear I seen some in the woods once, but I didn't get a look at it. It was definitely as tall as I was.
I listen to Bigfoot podcasts for like comedy, dude. Like, I was listening to one the other day about Bigfoot time slips. I'm like, this is fantastic. I can't write comedy like this, dude. And it's real shit. Like, people get in the woods and they get like led around by Bigfoot and have time slips and shit. Like, I'm like, what if you just got lost? Like, what if you're just Looney Tunes? You're just describing how you got lost in the woods for a couple hours. What if you're lying because you don't want to go home and see your significant other because you're married to a cold-hearted bitch or some sort of a dick, and you're like, oh well, you know, either case, either one, whatever the opportunity is. And they're like, oh yeah, I got lost in the woods from Bigfoot. Yeah, of course you did, bitch.
Oh yeah. I hate getting lost in the woods. I've never really been lost except when
I've never been lost in the woods. I didn't know where I was at for maybe a couple hours, but I never got lost.
Well, I was in some state land, like miles and miles in on foot, and like my friend's like, "Oh, I know where to go," and I'm like, "Fuck you, it's that way," you know. And he's like, "Bullshit," you know. And then he got us lost because I was like, "If you get us lost, I'm gonna complain the whole time."
Nice.
He didn't believe me, but I was just complaining the whole time. Like,
I
oh,
set a
maybe.
record for land orientation in my police academy class. So I learned all my orientation, map, and compass skill sets from the Boy Scouts. So I don't think I've ever been lost in the woods.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I used to go and follow the old railroad beds in Michigan. See
I
where
spent
they
my
all
entire
go.
childhood in the woods, man. Between not just the Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts, just my own time. I was always in the woods.
Yeah, the woods is nice. I thought about
I've seen a lot
carving
of
a
weird shit in
tree
the
and
woods,
like.
dude, but I don't know if I've ever seen a Bigfoot's.
Well, that's I've seen some. I don't know what I've seen, but there's the Michigan Dogman stories.
Dude, I love
don't-
Dogman stories, dude. It's right up there with Bigfoot time slips in my podcast listening, dude. I love that stuff. I don't believe in it, but I love it.
Well, my story is just this is before I smoked weed, and like I was like probably like 5 or 7 miles in the woods, in some nature reserve or some shit, and fucking like uh, I was coming up on some lake, and there was like a bunch of maples, and then there was pines, and but I wasn't to the pines yet, and there's still a bunch of like tiny maples, and like fucking and then I stepped in this big pile of shit. It was like it was like it was like the size of like a fucking 2 dinner plates or some shit. It was like fucking it was huge, and it was like and then I'm like wiping it with a stick trying to get all of my shoe, and fucking and then I smelled this like keep in mind I've seen like a bear like a million times, and I don't know what it was, but definitely
Bear
was.
shit in piles, and their turds look very unique.
Well, it definitely wasn't a bear because I've seen a million bears, but
Hey, boo boo.
and I've also smelled bears from going to the the bear
I had a
cage
bear steal my
exhibits.
picnic basket one time, dude. That son of a bitch.
So I was digging the shit out my shoe, and then I was leaning against a tree. It was just like a sapling, and fucking and then I heard a noise, and I looked over, and well, no, first I smelled it. It smelled like wet, fucking like dirty fur or something. It smelled like the nastiest fucking animal I've ever smelled in my life, and like fucking, cause I could smell really good, and like it smelled
To
fucking
be fair, I don't think we should
nasty.
talk about Kane in his absence like that.
But when I looked up, I seen like a humanoid black furry thing. I don't
That
know what
sounds
it
like
was. And then I just took off running. That's all I seen. I have no idea what it was. I called the DNR. They claimed it was a black bear, and I'm like, "There's no way that was a black bear. I've seen a million black bears. They don't have shoulders."
Did you call them racist, dude? They didn't even see the bear. They're already calling it black, dude. What's up?
I mean, bears don't have shoulders. This thing had shoulders. It was like,
yeah, I'm not
it
sure
was like
bears
6
understand
feet
race, but
tall.
those cops sure did, right?
I don't know what
like, fuck your black bear, motherfucker.
I didn't go in those woods ever again. Fuck that. Yeah, freaking
Do you think that bear called the NAACP for a civil rights violation? Saying you violated his rights, dude. You assaulted him in the woods. Some white boy assaulted me in the woods. I'm a black bear.
The spookiest place I've ever camped, I'd say, was.
Well, you can't call them spooks, dude. That lingo went out with the 50s, friend.
I thought we used to always camp on Lake Superior. That was pretty spooky. I thought that huge lake, that freaking place is eerie. Yeah, freaking.
I gotta take my dog out real quick. I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, Lake Superior is like just super. It's super like wavy at night, like just tons of waves, like freaking like you'll be trying to sleep and it's like uh it sounds I don't know what the ocean sounds like, but it's what I would assume the ocean would sound like. But I mean, it used to be just like miles and miles of like woods. I don't know if people got houses up there now or anything, but like Lake Michigan, it's all houses now. It used to be all woods, now it's all houses. It's like, what the fuck? This is all bullshit. Fucking yeah, I don't think I'd swim in Lake Michigan. cool to visit, but yeah, freaking I was gonna say, yeah, one time I was camping and my friend put he put he put what was it, uh incense in my bong, and then he tricked me into smoking it. And then the next morning I put potato chips in the bong. Tricked him into smoking it. Or maybe it was the other way around. I don't know. That's when I was a kid. Yeah, so what was it? Yeah, so there's some stuff about the Rosicrucian and the Golden Dawn stuff, the connections. I mean, uh, that Alexander Brzezinski is mentioned in it. So is Eliphas Levi in that fucking it's like they're all occultists. They're using socialism uh, to further the occultism. They're seems like they're a bunch of cutthroats. I mean, like Crowley. I mean, there's this thing with like Crowley. He thinks he's Paracelsus reincarnated. That's what the Illuminati believe. Like they thought that their plan going to fruition didn't matter if they perished. That they would have successors that would be their reincarnations, and that it becomes a weird thing when you get into Swedenborg and Swedenborgian right, fucking Strasbourg and all this shit, fucking like and that he was talking about spiritism, talking to spirits and all this stuff. You know, 'cause some of the Masons say that the when you're a Mason, you have all the spirits of all the Masons guiding you or some shit. I don't remember who told me that, but it was. I mean, it's very bizarre because it's like take that Jim Morrison thing. It's like his family. There's no record of him driving by some Native Americans getting massacred or something, and that he believed that. And keep in mind, it's not real. Jim Morrison believed that there was a Native American spirit, or that. I think JJ was saying. I'm pretty stoned, but it seems like it's connected to the philosophy of the Illuminati, where it's like their reincarnation, that they think they're reincarnating or something. But what if they aren't reincarnating? They're just incarnating someone else, and that or like, well, I mean, it's strange. It's like makes you wonder about if you were to be superstitious about all the secret societies. It's like, do they, you know, you go degrees and all this stuff. Are you invoking a spirit? Is it all some kind of invocation ceremony? I mean, like, and then look at socialism. It's made by a bunch of magicians. It's like, is socialism a magical spell? Well, that leaves signal. It's like it seems like Crowley's eon of conquering Horus or whatever was some kind of symbol of the the revolutionary, in a bad way, revolutionary mindset instilled into the masses to further the goals of socialism and communism. That's what Crowley was talking about. I mean, Crowley was a student of Eliphas Levi. Albert Pike was a student of Eliphas Levi. Blavatsky was a student of Eliphas Levi. What's his name? Theodore Russell or something, aka Brother 12, was a student of Blavatsky, and thus, and he claimed to have seen the plan, and that this illicit plan that he mentions 42 times or whatever the fuck in his book, just make foundation letters, which makes me want a cigarette. This fucking bullshit. I need to reread that book. He's an occultist. He's saying he's seen the plan. He's saying he's been to the Great White Lodge and all this bullshit. There, these, it's like when I met the head of the Eastern Star in Michigan, and the lady claimed she thought I was an ascended master, and I knew that these people are some kooky motherfuckers. Like, I mean, it's hard to explain. It's like, it's like there's this mentality that I hate, where it's like the people that think that they're better in some way, like these occultists who think that they have a secret knowledge and you couldn't possibly understand. Fucking, I like how Cooper puts it. He deciphers their gobbledygook, and fucking, and that if you listen to all the William Cooper episodes, you'll start to see what the gobbledygook is. All this fucking bullshit, symbology of the rose and all this other shit. Fucking, rose of socialism. Fucking, it's like you read the book, you trust the communists to be communists, and it clearly shows how they're all murderers. The communists in Russia were extreme murderers, no exaggeration. Everybody around Lenin, everybody around Stalin, everybody around all those people, they were all murked. They were all killed by the communists. That's no exaggeration. No, the communists decimated their own. They're a bunch of murderers, fucking communist socialists.
Murder.
I mean, it's
hey, Clint, I'm gonna call her in, man. I appreciate the invite.
Oh yeah, take it easy.
Later, dude.
Peace. Yeah, freaking. I think I ran out of monologue. Well, I guess I'll put a link in the chat if anyone wants to come on. Oh yeah, freaking. Oh, it's already 2. Yeah, freaking. Let's see here. I forgot. Yeah, so this Golden Dawn members: William Wynne Westcott, Alfred Edward Waite. That's relevant because Alfred Edward Waite seemed to cook the books. He seemed to sugarcoat everything. William Wynne Westcott was a occultist who sold Golden Dawn things. Part of the, it's like Crowley was a member. He was a member of all these different fraternal orders. He found that they were trying to seek purity through not sinning, in the layman's terms, and that Crowley made an order where instead of not sinning to seek purity, they would sin to seek purity. And I think that is what Weishaupt's order was as well. The Illuminati, that the Illuminati was practicing the same thing. and you can find it in the research in the lodges of adoption, which seem to have been female Illuminati Grand Orient lodges, which were used as brothels, so the Mason could find purity through sin. In the sugar coated terms. But so, like, nobody knows how far the Illuminati spread. I mean, Jack the Ripper could have been Illuminati. I mean, it was clearly around before what you saw. I mean, Jack the Ripper was after, but Jack. I think that the Illuminati stuff is connected. The Aryan stuff, and I think that like the Jack the Ripper some people say it was relation to the crown, and that what if he was in one of those satanic cults that was trying to find purity through sin, quote unquote. I mean, what if that's what's going on with these maniacs that you see on television? That these complete wacko socialists and communists and then I mean, it's fucked up. Well, I put a link on if somebody wants to come on. We'll put it out again here. I mean, I did have some clips, but I played them all at the beginning. Yeah, what do we got here? Yeah, I've already played all the clips. I mean, there's stuff that probably everybody sees in the mainstream already. I mean, I think there's something going on though with this technology here. Yeah, this technology that they're using, just like this technology, what is this stuff? These are both declassified videos. Isn't that replaying? Is it some kind of weaponry? I mean, obviously, is this some kind of secret Nazi technology that they're using or something? The fucking like, what the fuck is this shit? It's like the occultists. That's why it's relevant about that John Keeley or whatever that Blavatsky said. Maybe it was Keeney or Keeley. That Blavatsky said he was using the vril energies and all this. It's like he had made supposedly some kind of fuel that couldn't be seen from water, and that by putting the water in an airtight chamber, and then he was sending frequencies through it, and that but like he supposedly he had made a levitating platform that he had shown to the military, according to what the fuck is that guy's name? Hold on, I got his name here somewhere. Vladimir Terziski with a Z, one Z. So that Vladimir Terziski character claimed that fucking that Keeney or Keeley dude, John, I think his name was John Keeley, that he had a floating platform that was running off some kind of technology that the real force, quote unquote. That was some people allege that he was somehow connected with the technology. That when they would try to turn the device on, it wouldn't turn on, but when he would turn it on, it would turn on, and that they think that Keeley was, possibly using his own chi or something. I mean, that's what the real force would be, chi. I mean, for the, in the like layman's terms. But so this, but so it's like you gotta understand these occultists, that they're involved with technology, and that they're interweaving technology with magic. I mean, that's the best way to put it. I'm not, and that this has nothing to do with no phones or anything like that. I'm talking about stuff that can fly, stuff that can travel far distances, teleport. That I mean, this is relevant because people have seen people teleporting in videos. That this technology these occultists have is, I mean, think about public technology of certain occultists, like such as Scientology. You got some kind of e-meter to read some kind of energy or something, Excuse me. It all reminds me of that Briscoe County Jr. show, where it's like there's all this weird Wild West technology and shit. And fucking, damn it. How much? I'm probably gonna go here and just cigarette, but all this fucking Wild West technology and shit. It's like all this weird old technology that's somehow more powerful, different than modern technology. I mean, that's seems to be basically what they're doing. I mean, by modern, technology isn't even modern. They had touch screens in the 70s. Touch screens aren't new. Went public in like 1981. A touch screen thing where you could sign something and fax it to somebody. Damn it, I don't know why I lit up a cigarette. I got the house fan and the window open. The touch screen. I mean, if that real technology is real, that John Keeley, which Blavatsky discusses extensively, that, keep in mind, Blavatsky was connected to the possibly to the Hussards de la Mort Skull and Bones order of knights, not just regular, not just some kind of Freemason thing, or, but a literal knighthood. But I mean, technically, the 32nd degree is. But so, my point being, though, it's like Blavatsky was connected to these people, and that, well, I mean, it becomes a weird thing because of all this hypnotism, all the mesmerism, the animal magnetism, the this thing that they claimed existed. Uh, you know, effort to ask it. I mean, because nobody knows. I mean, that's the thing. It's like if UFOs are man-made and if they're powered by some kind of weird occult force that nobody really knows of, such as this Vril energy, supposedly, then there's some weird shit going on. Because I mean, anybody that hasn't seen a UFO can easily say it's fake or something, but I've seen 3 separate ones, 3 separate occasions. I was totally competent. There's no way that I mistook what I seen for some other airplane or something. I mean, like fucking. My point being, though, it's like until you see a giant fucking metal cigar tube thing in the sky that's fucking 200 yards long, approximately 60 feet diameter, total chrome, and then just see it disappear. You're not going to believe in any of this technology, but the fact of the matter is that the technology exists. If it is technology, I mean, who knows what the fuck it is? I mean, I would assume it's technology, but the I mean, whatever it is, it's I mean, I would assume it had a cloaking mechanism. It's just spooky to think about it because it's like, man, seeing that thing. No, I froze. Yeah, because Cooper talks about what he's seen with the UFOs and the weird shit that they would do, claiming that they were disarming nuclear missiles. I mean, because that's what this video obviously is, or could be. This fucking, it's spooky shit. Yeah, I don't really have any good videos here left. It's spooky shit. Yeah, I'm probably gonna pass on. My back hurts. All right, well, take it easy. Follow me on Facebook or whatnot. All right, peace out. Oops. What day is it? Yeah, me and Todd will be coming on Wednesday.